Hey guys, welcome back to part 2 of installing the wide body kit on the 180. So in the previous video, as you saw, we went ahead and installed the rear quarter pieces, the side skirts, and the front fenders, and that was part 1 of the install. So part 2, we're just going to be cutting up the arches in the rear, tacking them onto the top. Then we're going to be siliconing them so that no water gets through, nothing rusts, nothing of the sort. Then after that, what we're going to do is I intend to lower the car about 2 inches in the rear and 2.5 in the front. I know the engine and trans is not in the car, which is like a lot of weight to like compress the springs of the coilovers, but I'm not really sure what that's going to do. But if we do install those components and the car does drop or sit a little bit lower, it's coilovers. We're just going to raise it back up. So we're going to do that. We're going to weld the rear. We're going to lower the car. And then we're going to install that beautiful massive wing, powered 326 wing, exactly. We're going to install that wing. We're going to install the rear bash bar as well. And then get rid of that nonsense thing. I don't know what the heck that is, but that has to go. So we're going to get rid of that. And then we're going to do a unboxing video, and I'm going to give you a quick overview as to what we are doing with the engine, because I got my engine. It came in the mail. So we're going to do a bit of unboxing later on in the video. But as of right now, let's get into the video. So the car's on the ground. Let's go ahead and measure and see how low or approximately how much we have to drop the car. So centered, this is right here. So from where it is down, it's about 2 inches, I'd say. So 2 inches on this side. And then let's come to the other side. And this side as well. It's gonna be about 2 inches again. So the rear, we gotta drop it 2 inches. And then let's see what we're looking at for the front. So for the front, yeah, I had to put a Ziploc and a nail in the return for the fuel because it was spilling the other day. But for the front, as you can see, it's a lot more. It's about 2.5, 3 inches. So I think I'm gonna drop it 2 inches, 2 1/4 inches maybe, or 3/4. I don't know. Maybe let's just say we'll drop the car 2 inches all around, and then we'll go from there. And then when we install the engine and trans, it'll probably help us. But let's see what the overall height of the actual car off the ground is from the side skirt. So we're sitting about 8 inches off the ground. So let's say we drop it 2 inches, then the car would be approximately 6 inches off the ground. And then my jack is 3 inches. So cool. We have plenty of leverage or space to drop the car. So let's get busy. Okay, so now that we've dropped the car, that is almost perfect fitment. I know a lot of you guys are saying like it might be touching, but the wheel is not touching the over piece at all. And when I cut it 1.5 inches high, so it's not even touching the part that we've cut. So the wheel is not in contact with anything. So that's perfect. One thing I did notice is that on this side, see how like almost flush it is with this side? And then we come to this side, and it's not identical to the other side. When I measured the coilovers, they were flush and everything. But one thing I did notice is that the body kit is not like flush as it is on this side. So you see how this side is a bit higher than this side? And when I was measuring both of them, they're about like a mil difference from this side and that side. So a millimeter is the difference between this fitment and the other side, and I'm guessing it's because of this body kit, because the coilovers were adjusted identical to each other. So the car is sitting how it's supposed to, but because of fitment issues of the body kit on this side, it's not sitting like the other side. But I mean, it is what it is. But look at that fitment. Like, that is flush. Okay, like, damn. On that side it's flush, and then on this side it's also flush. So that's perfect fitment. Now we're going to tackle the front. Alright guys, so where we left off last night was we had lowered the rear of the car and we were tackling the front of the car, but I ran into a bit of an issue. The coilovers are rusted in the threads going into the bottom portion, and no matter how hard I tried, they would not budge. And I got the locking collar off the bottom to come up on this one and this one as well, but then I noticed on this one too that the bottom is doing the same thing on this one as well. So what I'm probably gonna do, because I'm not trying to buy new coilovers or resort to buying new coilovers, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go buy a bucket and then buy a lot of white vinegar, and I'm gonna soak these two all the way up here in the bucket of white vinegar, and hopefully we'll see if that will dissolve some of the rust on these coilovers. If anyone has any methods on how I can unrust these, please let me know in the comments below. But yeah, I tried soaking it in WD-40. I came out here like multiple times over the night to spray it to see if that would loosen it, but no. I tried putting it back in the car and using the locking collars to like spin the top hat portion on them, but nothing seemed to work. So we're gonna take a pause on lowering the front of the car, and let's get into the other video, the other things we have to do for this car. Okay, it's been about 2 or 3 days now since I've had these soaking in the vinegar bath I had, but unfortunately, as you can see, these coilovers are so rusted to the point that there is no saving them. So yeah, I went ahead and ordered new coilovers. So when those come in, I believe Saturday or Sunday, we'll go ahead and install those in the car and finish lowering the car. But yeah, let's get on to the other things we have to do for this car. Installing the rear subframe, and then that beautiful wing. So yeah, let's get into it.
Okay, she's on. Let me show you the underneath. So I made the rectangular slits. I'm probably gonna go through with the angle grinder again and just make those sharp edges a little bit more dull. Throw a can of spray paint over it to keep it from rusting. Same on this side. I did get a little too happy with the grinder and I cut some wires, so I'm gonna have to take this harness off and then do some rewiring. I probably should have taken this and like tucked it in before I started cutting, but you know what, we learn as we go. So that needs to be redone, but I have the slits in. The holes line up with the trunk. I said trunk. They line up with the wing perfectly. So, and she's on. So, yeah, let's keep going.
Alrighty guys, pardon my voice, I'm a bit sick. So this is how the rear of the car turned out. We have the ESR rear bash bar, the Power 326 wing, and this car is really coming together. So we're done with the rear portion of the car. Most of you are probably wondering what's going to happen with this car. This car is going to get wrapped, but I don't mind putting the things on the car because I want to get a feel for how the car would look. So this is how we are progressing with the build. So from here, I'm probably gonna fix this right now. And then, I don't know if I showed you guys a while ago, but we had our GKtech mirrors come in for the 180, and I want to see how they look on the car. If anything, probably tonight, we will probably assemble the entire car, get the hood on, get the front bumper on, get everything on the car besides the front coilovers, because as you already know, we have the coilovers that are like seized and ugly right over there. So we're gonna take the coilovers when they come off the car, install the new ones on, lower the car, and we're gonna get this car looking like a car. I am so excited for that. But yeah, after that, let's continue installing some components onto the car.
So before we installed the hood onto the car, I went ahead and did this easy mod where I cut slits in the stopper for the hood strut. I did it for both, and then all I simply did was just take the pry bar and bent it so that the stopper would not engage on the other piece. So now we have the capability of opening this hood like really wide. So really cheap, inexpensive mod you can do. Inexpensive mod. I can't speak English, I'm sick. You can do the 240. Alright guys, after a bit of finagling of the hood, finally got it to close. Fender to hood fitment on this side. It's fairly even on both sides. Yeah, there's a bit of a gap right there. But all across the board, it looks fairly kind of even. All right, guys, it's getting late. It's 4 a.m. in the morning. The car is where we want it to be. We have the wing installed, the rear bash bar. The car is looking beautiful. So next video, we're gonna pick up and we are going to tackle the interior. I have some seats, headliner, and a whole bunch of stuff for the interior that we're gonna do. So stay tuned for that. But I'm gonna end the video out here. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next video. Peace.